Hey everybody, welcome to Muscle Car TV. Today we have a very special car, the 2009 BMW 328i. Huge thanks to my friend Fadi here for allowing me to drive his car and review it today. We're going to have a discussion about the car, go over some facts. Fadi's going to tell us what he did to the car mod-wise, and we're going to see basically our driving impressions of the car. So in the BMW 328i here that we have today, the engine is a 3-liter inline-6 producing, how much horsepower is this?
Stock around 230.
230
to the wheels, yeah.
230 to the wheels, which, you know, for what this car is as a daily driver, it's a very good.
It's
power.
honestly it's very livable. It's not you know, too slow, but it still has enough power to you know, still give you some fun rides.
Exactly. And on that
it's
note,
nothing too crazy.
Exactly. And on that note, we're actually going to start driving the car. We're going to get some driving impressions. So basically, Fadi, you did 19-inch Vossen wheels right through the CV3s.
Correct, yeah. CV3s in gunmetal gray.
Gunmetal gray. We're going to have some footage on top of the video here. But the wheels really, when I first saw them, and this car is black, as you guys know, it really goes well. It really contrasts. It's more of like, instead of like a typical black on, you know, and then you have black gloss wheels, which most cars these days have. It really has a good contrast. It's really something different. You know what I mean? You don't see many cars these days.
Yeah.
You see modded cars, especially BMWs, and this is 5-spoke, right? They're 5-spoke wheels.
Yeah, 5-spoke.
Brakes are very touchy.
Oh yeah. BMW brakes are very, very sensitive when it comes to you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the reason why I did them
yeah, what was the reason behind the wheel choice?
Exact reason, like you were saying, I see too many that are black, and it looks nice and all, but I just wanted to give it like a mindful taste, something kind of to stand it out. But the CV3s, when they come stock from the factory, are silver.
Okay.
And the stock rims on this, which had 16-inch BMW rims, were also silver. And I mean, I don't mind the silver, but I just wanted something kind of in between. That's why I had the powder coated gunmetal gray.
Oh, okay.
And another thing about the rims, which most people don't realize, since this is the X-Drive model, it doesn't actually like concave rims, especially the fact that the front ones are not concave and the rear ones are concave.
Okay.
I was told that I might be getting issues because of that, because the all-wheel drive system is very sensitive to this car. And I've been driving it for...
And that's what, I mean, sorry to interrupt you, that's what X-Drive and BMW is, right?
Correct.
It's their all-wheel drive system.
All-wheel drive system, yeah. It's got a lot to it when it comes to how it exactly works, but I've not done as much research as I wanted to.
Yeah, but honestly, you know, like I said to Fadi, my first impression is it looked great. I mean, the 5-spoke, it really looks aggressive. Now, it doesn't look like a, you know, like it's kind of ghetto car. You know what I mean? You know, when you know when people put like 22s, it looks very aggressive, but also, you know, professional and good looking at the same time.
Thank you.
And now tire setup, 285s in the back. What do we have up front?
It's 265s
in the back
and 235s in the front.
235s. Yeah. And we were joking before. It really looks like we'll go straight. It really looks like from the back a wide body, kind of like a wide body 328.
The fenders come out a decent bit, and the fact that the tires in the back are so wide does make it look like it has a wide body. But that's the nice thing about this model, because in 2009 they facelifted the E90. They just changed a few things, including the headlights and taillights, the front bumper. I don't believe the rear bumper, they didn't really touch that, but and they made it more kind of aerodynamic. They kept the inside the same, but from the back and the front, they changed it up a bit.
Yeah, because for being a 2009 model year, it really holds up. Like, you know what I mean? It still looks like a modern BMW, because BMW, they really haven't changed all that much their design language in the last 10 years. I mean, generally, what can they do much? They always have that kidney grill in the front, the 2 kidney grills. Yeah. And then, you know, with the new M2 and the M3 and the M4, they're really doing the bottom. They're changing the bottom air intake grills. And also the taillights in the back. But with this car, it really has that classic BMW look. For sure. Whenever I see it, especially the taillights in the back.
I know what you're saying. The thing is, with I prefer this over the newer styles, the F series. Not particularly the 5 series or the 2 series, but over the 3 series. old-fashioned BMWs. I'm personally an E30 fan. I've been looking for a nice E30, but they're super hard to find in conditions.
And you're also looking at the M5.
M5, correct.
The M5.
E60 M5. It's, you know, nice car, pretty good, you know, price for its age and its horsepower.
Basically. You know what I mean? It's still, you're getting still the luxury, you're getting the power, right? That has a V10.
V10 producing
and
507 horsepower.
And you know, you can never beat a V10. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where, and I always, whenever I drive these cars, because I've driven all American cars up to this point, Fadi's generously given me his BMW to review, and first German car reviewing, and I mean, I've been in them before, I've never reviewed them, but like I tell everybody who I do reviews with, eventually in 10 years, all cars, especially performance cars, are moving towards smaller engines and forced induction, like turbocharged or supercharged. So really, I mean, that
the EcoBoost Mustangs.
Exactly. Which I hate. I hate EcoBoost. I mean, not saying, I understand where they come from. I understand people want to have the nice looking sports car and then still get decent fuel economy.
Sure.
But it's like, if you're gonna go and get a Mustang, a Camaro, a BMW, a Mercedes, any type of performance car, you want, you know, a good performing engine.
Miles per gallon.
Exactly.
Let me, back in the day when BMW was in F1, when they were producing, before I believe they're called the turbo hybrid F1 cars, BMW created an engine that could rev up to about 27,000 RPM. Which is insane, yeah. But then F1 put regulations.
Yeah.
But that's why I kind of, there's so much to BMW that most people don't know.
It really is, because people think they know all luxury brands, really. I mean, and they really don't until you sit in them and you talk with the owners, and it's one of those things. Now, one thing I did want to go over, what is now obviously we have an automatic transmission here. How many gears are in the car? Do you know?
There's, when you put it into Steptronic, it has 6 gears.
6 gears. Okay, so it's a 6-speed automatic. And we have all-wheel drive. And also, one thing I did want to mention is Fadi did a muffler delete. I don't know if you can hear it in the video. We're going to have an exhaust clip. But usually when people, you know, I've known people who have really changed the exhaust system on their Mercedes and all that, and there's a lot of droning when you're just cruising down the street or on the highway. The muffler delete makes it sound much better, because as we all know, factory exhausts are extremely restrictive because of emission regulations, and you know, and really what people do is, like, if I had a car like this, I have a Ford Fusion, but if I had a car like this, or even a better performance car like a Camaro, or, you know, that's subjective, that term, but if I had a performance car, I would probably do high flow cats, muffler delete, and Fadi did do a muffler delete, and what was the reasoning? Now, I'm assuming they sell full exhaust systems for this car, like Borla and Corsa and Magnaflow.
They also sell Dynon exhausts.
Okay.
Those are a little bit more pricey, but
now Dynon also supercharges the new M's, like the M3 and the M4.
Correct. You can get Dynon packages. There's Dynon Stage 2, Dynon Stage 3.
Yeah.
It all depends on how much you're willing to pay for the packages, for the M series, that is. But the reason why I only did a muffler delete, and what I did was I dropped the muffler, I kept the cats, I kept the resonator, the cat.
The cats. You only have one or two? Because, you know, a lot of cars these days have, you know, you have your exhaust system, obviously you have your headers, and then the downpipe. They usually have a catalytic converter on the downpipe, and then also midway through the exhaust system, but
I only have one. So I kept the cat, I kept the resonators. All I did was drop the muffler, because I have a few friends who have the same kind of platform, the E90. My one friend has everything removed, and I can tell
straight pipe.
It is no way. Yeah, completely straight pipe. And the thing is obnoxiously loud. Like it's too loud.
Probably a lot of droning too. Right?
Yeah.
You're driving it.
So what I did was I took a nice little risk. I said, hopefully if I just do the muffler delete, it won't be too bad. You know, it'll be where it's loud enough to hear, but not loud enough to annoy me.
Exactly.
Lucky enough, it did work for me. In the winter, when I put this in Steptronic and I downshift, it does. Go ahead, yeah. It does do a few burps.
It's very, you know, it really gets up to speed. I mean, 0 to 60. Have you ever done 0 to 60 on this car?
No, but from what I've seen, it's around
4.5, 5.
Around 4.9, I believe.
Yeah.
Which
is, I mean, for basically the E90 platform, and this car is basically on. It's not, you know, it's not even close to like the M models. I mean, I'm not a huge BMW. Yeah, I mean, like I know BMW not as good as you. Yeah. So if you were to classify this car performance-wise, where is it on the BMW lineup? It could be now, could be 2009. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So the thing where this thing stands is performance-wise. I wanted to get, personally, before I bought this, I wanted to get a 335 because that is a V6 with twin turbo and it does produce from the factory 300 horsepower. But I'm still pretty impressed with like the amount of like power it puts down for only. I mean, right now it's a little bit cranked because of the muffler delete and a few other mods. I had to get it tuned.
But just because, guys, when you do anything to an exhaust system, take anything off, you're changing the exhaust pressure coming out of the combustion chamber, so you really need to change that. But because I've driven many other American performance cars, I kind of know where they are in their lineup, and maybe I should have done a little bit more homework on. I know BMW, I don't know it as well as Fadi. That's why he's here with me today. But what I'm saying is it's a very good. Like when this car came out, was it like a luxury car specified to, or was it specified to performance?
They specify this as a sport luxury, where it's still sporty, but it does have, you know, the luxury aspect. All BMWs are. But if I had to like put this, like rank this, I would say this competes pretty nicely with a V6 Mustang. I wouldn't say in a straight line drag race because the newer ones put, I believe, 300 horsepower down.
Yeah. All right, guys. So conclusion of Fadi's 328i. First thing I did want to mention is after we did have some SD cards problems. Throws you back in your seat a little bit. Yeah, definitely did. It definitely has some pull. We have looks like a CTS coming here. But anyways, Fadi's gonna do a little crazy action for us.
This is how I drive it.
I was driving like a snail just because I didn't want to, I didn't want to wreck his car.
This guy kind of does not want to be going over.
Exactly.
But anyway,
so no, I mean, I was driving like a snail. Fadi's driving it like it should be driven. But one thing, the manual, I mean, it is an automatic, but when you put it in a manual mode, the shifts are really seamless. For a 2009, basically paddle shift technology, even though they're not paddle shifters, very quick and very responsive. Fadi, you said that yourself. It's just like red line on this is around 7,000 RPM, and and one thing BMW has always perfected is the inline six.
Oh yeah,
they're inline
perfectly balanced.
Exactly, it's the most balanced engine, guys. Is it inline six? That's why when people say, "Oh, V12s and stuff." Yeah, exactly. Anyways, we're gonna do a conclusion here. Yeah. My thoughts. I love the car. I'm not a huge. I don't know everything about BMWs, but one thing is that this car definitely impressed me. Hey everybody, welcome to Muscle Car TV. Today we have a very special car thanks to my friend Fadi. Thanks a lot, Fadi.
Sorry, dude.
It was too close.
No, not that. Like, I thought you were trying to like point at me, but then I was like, he's going for a handshake. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay,
so, no, we're just gonna roll through. We're gonna roll through. Producing how much horsepower is this?
Stock around 230.
230
to the wheels, yeah.
230 to the wheels, which is pretty decent. I mean, especially. I mean, it's a good horsepower car. I mean,
it's a good daily.
Good horsepower car. I'm gonna cut it there, but we'll pick back up. Good horsepower car. Good horsepower car. See, I say things when I'm on video that are retarded. Cracks and popples from the
Okay.
What is it? I'm like, all right, we got to turn the air up.
Air up?
Yes. Just.
Okay, so wherever you want.
All right, so let's.